Hello friends, we are back again on episode number 42 on hashtag success sauce, hashtag interview torpedo 2.14 means chapter 2 part 14, and as usual please like, share and subscribe with the bell icon pressed in time. That will help you to know when the next video is coming to you and you will enjoy it. So I continue with what I had said on part 13. That means in workshop we had been working on various parts, and some parts gave us iron filings, some parts gave us brass filings, some parts gave us aluminum filings while working on the lathe machine. And immediately somebody got the idea of crackers. So as soon as the filings were collected from the floor, put in a sack and brought to the hostel, and we were told that please subscribe 4 annas. Those days in 1960, 4 annas would mean 1/4 of a rupee, and it would mean quite a lot. So we all subscribed, 400 boys subscribed 4 annas. So it became 100 rupees. 100 rupees was a lot of money. That means something like 10,000 rupees now. And they had immediately gone to Newmarket to buy some other phosphorus and other materials to make that cracker called Udan Tupdi. That means it is to be thrown upwards and it bursts upwards with glittering lights in the sky. And there were some experts who got that done in the hostel in one room, and thereafter in the evening we were waiting for the evening to come. In the evening we were starting celebration of that. And I was having a little fever, and I was watching it from my room window, and while the fun was going on, suddenly I realized a car was moving very fast, a black ambassador car. Those days other cars were not available in 1963, most likely 63 November. And it was moving very fast, and I knew our principal drives very fast in the campus. So I was wondering whether a principal is coming or not, and yes, it was so. And suddenly it went inside the porch of our Mcdonald hall and stopped. So all the boys were so scared of the principal, they almost froze in their tracks. Those who were burning the crackers jumped into the garden trees so that they cannot be visible. Some others fled somewhere else, and it was empty. The whole courtyard was empty. Principal knew all that, called for the caretaker and told caretaker that please get all the boys out here from their rooms and lock the rooms. So he had gone and locked all the rooms, something like 80-100 rooms in our hostel. And when we all accumulated before the principal said, you were having celebrations, okay, Christmas celebrations or New Year celebrations. Now I will have celebrations with you, Christmas celebration or New Year celebrations, because you have ignored the condition of other people in the campus. Staff members are there, senior staff members are there, their parents would be there, and they will have heart problems and others. You would be aggravating that. You had never bothered about it. So, to teach you a lesson, I will rusticate you for one day, and it will be on your progress report, on your report for all times to come. We are very sad. What happens only for our hostel people will be punished. And I was very near to the principal. I somehow managed the courage to tell him, "Sir, only Mcdonald Hall." He said, "Yes, that's right. No, not only Mcdonald Hall. All halls, Mcdonald Hall, Richardson Hall, Sengupta Hall, Sen Hall. Actually, these were name of the hostels giving regard to ex-principals of the college." So I was happy. If all 400 boys in fourth year is rusticated, fine, all of us will face the same problem. And we were walking towards the gate, and principal was driving to make sure that all of us leave the campus, move out of the gate. And as soon as 400 people had gathered outside the gate, the residents in those areas were so startled. What is happening here? Some chaos or some fighting, something. So they opened their windows in the night. It was night, 11 o'clock by that time in winter. And the milkmen had their charpoys on which they were sleeping. They brought that out on the road and said, "Please sit here, please sit here." So our boys were sitting there, and what to do now? Because principal had said that you will be out of the campus. So we had talents who would be singing, who would be playing guitars, etc. So some guitars were brought from the locality, because we could not move anything from the hostel. We were just out of the hostel in one shot. Thereafter, our General Secretary Pradeep Sandil was there. He was somewhat close to the principal. We all requested him that please go over to the principal and request him fervently that we will not do it again. So he had gone there and fervently requested the principal. Principal said, "Okay, I allow you this time, but do not do it ever." This is the relationship between teacher and student. He would be very tough on the outside, and inside he was very soft about us. He was only disciplining us, that we should learn discipline for the whole of our career. And that I could master and tell principal that only Mcdonald Hall was a great pleasure for me, and my colleagues put tribute to me that you have made all of us together, all 400 boys in fourth year together. So again, friends, this interview means interaction with various levels. Here it was with the principal, and at appropriate time with appropriate words. Thereafter, I tell you another psychological situation where we were having smithy workshop. and iron rods will be given, and we will have to prepare various products out of it. And my case was most difficult. Iron rings to be made out of iron rods. So I was watching the foreman there, and he was experienced smithy man, and I could see his weakness. His weakness is, if the iron rod is red hot, he cannot save his temptation of molding into the shape desired. So the workshop was very long. In one furnace, I had put one iron rod, because I knew that by the time he comes from the other end, this iron rod will be red hot. And as soon as he came, I said, "Sir, I'm taking the iron rod out in a tongue." I said, "Sir, what do I do?" He said, "What is your product?" I said, "Product is ring." Immediately he himself did it in 3 minutes, one ring, and put it in water to cool it down. So one ring is done, and he was going to the other end. So I ran to the other end, and in the furnace I put another iron rod. And by the time he came there, it was red hot, about to get molten. And I picked it up and told him, "Sir, what to do?" He said, "What is your job?" I said, "Sir, iron ring." Immediately he had done it in 3 minutes and put it in water to cool it down. My job was done, a pair of rings done. I submitted to the person and went to hostel. And all my other colleagues were saying, "How could you do that so fast?" And we couldn't do it. Similarly, sometimes you give in to temptations. You should better avoid it. I give you one example of temptation. The preparation, obviously I am foodie type, so the preparation of the cook was very good. So limited chapatis, not limited chapatis, unlimited, sabji unlimited, and rice bhujia, potato bhujia unlimited, mutton limited, dal unlimited. So therefore my intake of chapatis increased from 3 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and went up to 26. And there was a weightlifter in our batch. He noticed me, and he came by my side. He said, "Look here, all these people are leaving the dining hall after 10 or 12 chapatis. Let us eat together. You take 26 chapatis, I take 28 chapatis. We will have that, enjoy the meal." I said, "Okay." And we were doing that. And obviously I was gaining weight very much. Once I was having fever, I went to the doctor there at the dispensary, campus dispensary, and doctor said, "How many chapatis do you eat?" I said, "Sir, 26. He jumped out. "26? Don't eat any more, you will become round then." So that gave me a warning bell, and I started reducing it. Every week, 3 chapatis, and ultimately brought to 3 chapatis only. And my other friend said, "Oh my God, you will die. You are not taking 26 chapatis, you are taking 3 chapatis." That is how I control my temptation on food that I like. Thank you.